Hi, finally.
Hi, Kemar.
How are you doing?
So I'm okay. So we are getting this right now. So let me just jump off and start quickly. All right. So for those who don't know me, I am Latoya Duar from Plan-tastik Professionals, event planning company, and part of my brand is empowerment. So it comes from Plan-tastik Inspire. So this interview with Kemar from South Korea is coming from that leg of my brand. So Plan-tastik Professionals, Plan-tastik Inspire. So since we can't go out and do events, Kemar, because COVID is in Jamaica, so the event fraternity is in a little limbo right now. So we have to go virtual. So hence this initiative to speak with you because you are Jamaican for one. Them say Jamaica, the Jamaicans, they everywhere and
Everywhere.
you happen to be in South Korea. So how did you reach a South Korea?
Well, it has been an exciting journey to come here. So I work for JPS, and I'm not sure how many persons may have known, but the Jamaica Public Service is owned by the Japanese, the Koreans, and the Jamaican government, and to the lesser extent, the sorry, the shareholders. So yeah, so the Koreans offered a scholarship, and I took the initiative to come. I mean, it's furthering education for free, so why not? In a different country, you'll get your education, you'll get to experience a new culture and everything. But I wasn't planning for this Corona thing either, so this was this was just more than a bargain for. So, but I'm here, and I mean, I'm
Yeah,
safe,
go
so
through. Yeah,
yeah, I
go
got
through.
through.
So what my question is, so we heard about Corona in like February thereabout. Some persons who were probably following the news probably heard about it before. But when China started telling the world that this virus was out and you being in a Asian country, South Korea, what was like your first reaction? Like, how did you feel when you hear this virus? Like another plague, another H1N1 situation, Ebola situation coming. How did you feel? What was your first emotions?
To be honest, at first, I was just being a typical Jamaican. It's in China, okay. But when I started to realize the number of cases, I mean, like per day, the cases were going like crazy. So at that
And
point, huh? At
so,
that point, I was saying, hey, what is happening in China? You guys heard what's happening in China, man? China is serious. But then it wasn't in Korea any at all, so we were still fine. So
right,
at that point, I mean, persons used to call me from back home. Persons used to say, hey, are you in Wuhan? I'm saying, no, I'm not in China. I'm in Korea. I'm in South
right,
Korea. So, I mean, it was going, but I never felt anywhere at that point. At that point, I was good. Nothing to worry about at that point. However,
right,
when it when we realize that it is in Korea now, I'm saying, well, it is getting closer.
getting
So at that
closer.
point, I mean, even when it arrived in Korea, I was still okay. I had no problem at that point. However, when we got up to patient 31, that's the
Right.
famous patient everyone knows about. And as many of you may have heard the story, they attend this church and all, and then that church they don't have any chairs, any benches, anything like that. So everyone sits on the floor, shoulder to shoulder, and they do lots of hugging and touching, whatever. Well, that's what I heard.
Right.
However,
Okay.
that church is seen as a cult here. So with all those kissing and hugging, when she attended church those two occasions, at that point. I mean, if there's 500 plus persons in a church and all these people hugging, that's 501 person of it. Let's say that's 500. And if that person took a taxi home or the bus, whatever, you go home, you talk to your family, just live your normal life. I mean, each
Right.
person right there will end up infecting, say, two persons. So I mean, when the
Multiply.
cases when the cases started multiplying like crazy, I'm like, whoa. At that point now everyone started to call and say, hey, come to your yard.
I was one of those persons. I was one of those persons. I was like, Kemar, where are you? China? No, South Korea. Then when I heard it, I'm like, Kemar, you're not coming home.
Hey, so I mean, a lot of persons call me and saying, hey, you need to come home. There's no corona in Jamaica. Why are you there? And I'm saying,
Right.
man, I mean, it was at that point it wasn't good. And I think the part that affected me the most was when um my daughter, I was talking to my daughter and she's saying, Daddy, are you safe? You should come. And I'm saying, I'll be okay, man. So at that point I was like, man, did I really die in Korea? so so I mean, based on how the cases were going, I was really scared at that point. But the professors, the sponsors, everyone was telling us just to remain calm. They will do the best that they can to ensure that we're okay. So
Right. So that was your reaction, your emotions at the time. So my question now, what were some of the actions that the South Korean government took?
all right. So since I've lived that phase and I'm at this point now, I can tell you that I personally commend the government, the healthcare professionals, all of these people. Because let me tell you something, they did a lot. When I say a lot, they really did a lot because these people they took a proactive approach. So Korea, Japan, China, all of these people they're in the same diaspora. So what happened is that Korea started developing test kits to check for corona before the first case arrived in Korea.
Okay.
So by
Mm-hmm.
the time it got here, they already had a test kit to do the rapid test. And when it comes on to contact tracing, these people utilize technology to the fullest.
Right.
So the moment that a person is tested positive, there's this legislation in place where once a person is tested positive, then your cell phone records, your credit
Oh,
card records, CCTV, everything. So right away, they use the technology now to check where you have been,
right.
where you went shopping, all of these places, everything.
Who you who
CC,
you call?
everything. So they're gonna ask you. So if you say, hey, where have you been in the last 5 days? And you say, I was in halfway tree on Monday while you were in St. Thomas. If the cell phone records don't correlate, then that's a problem. So
Right.
right there and then, what they do, the moment you tested positive, automatically your family should be in isolation because you
Mm-hmm.
have been in contact with these people. And these people are very strict on that too. If you come out, you're facing like up to 10 million Korean ones or one year in jail. So with the tracking of the cell phones and your spending records, to CCTV to track all of these movements that you have been doing. Now at that point, what they do now is this. Anyone if it shows that you were in Halfway Tree, Clock Tower Plaza at Saturday at 10, then everyone who was in Clock Tower at that point
Right.
should come in. You should notify them where you are, and these mobile test units will come and test you. Right?
Right.
So the mobile testing, that's one thing. The isolation of the family, that's another thing that they did. And also what I love though if there's a case in, say, Portmore, Greater Portmore, every cell phone that is in Greater Portmore gets that message. So the moment the information becomes available, you will just hear an emergency alert goes off on every phone inside the room. This annoying sound that you have to stop to see what it is saying. And then it is in Korean. So it is in Korean. So sometimes I'm like, what is this? So do the translation, you realize that, hey, this person was at Portmore Mall, then they left and they went to Wendy's and they went there, everywhere. So if you were in any of those vicinities, you need to come for testing. So that's how they did that thing. So I mean, that really did a lot. And that's why
because
so far,
last night what I did, I checked the what were your cases in Korea were, and it was like 10,062 cases, right?
yeah.
However, 6,021 of that recovered, but you only had 174 deaths. So what you are explaining to me is that whatever the Koreans did, it worked.
Yeah, man.
So you guys flattened the curve very quickly.
Very, very quickly. That's why I have to commend them on that. And I mean, I think the rapid testing did a lot.
Right.
The testing, because remember, this is not something you catch and automatically you know. So you go about living your regular life, doing your regular duties while you're there infecting other persons. However, with this mechanism where they say, hey, listen, if you are here, notify us, do not come out, we will come and test you. These people were doing up to 10,000 tests per day. So I mean, as soon as this is done, then you find that they contain a lot of these persons really quickly. So it was really good.
Yes, I like that. Maybe that's something that I don't know how we are with technology in Jamaica, but I like the idea of the alert that they sent out, because when I was looking at the tracking COVID and realizing that South Korea deaths were really low, I was curious to see and hear what they were doing differently. And that is good. I think that's a good idea to send out the alerts to say, hey, this person tested positive. They were at X place, they were at Burger King, and you must just avoid that place. That is very good. So, but how was quarantine? Was there quarantine in South Korea where you had to stay home? Were there stay at home or order?
All right, so South Korea contained this thing or happened to flatten the curve rapidly without having to shut down an entire city.
Right.
And what they do, I remember downtown at the market where we normally go to shop. The guy, so remember that church I was telling you about? A
Right.
lot of persons go to that church. So a person from the area that I'm living in went to that church. So that's how it arrived in this area. So he went to the market, and CCTV footage, everything showed while he was in the market, when he went to the pharmacy, when he went down the street to the whatever store. So automatically there was a complete shutdown of that area, right? So everywhere that he visited, right away. So the entire market, the pharmacy, all those stores, the entire street, everything is sprayed, washed, everything. So at that point, I mean, yeah. So, what was I saying again, Latin?
At that point, when they washed down the streets, it looked like you had an emotional reoccurrence of it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened just now. What was I saying before that?
CCTV showed you where the gentleman went.
Yeah, so they didn't have to shut down the entire city. There wasn't a total shutdown of any city. There were specific
initiative.
areas though. There were specific areas where they did that.
They shut
Um, in
shut down.
in terms of, all right. So funny enough, I think this is where I had my real scare though, because there was one point in time where the dorm that I'm on, there's some other students on the other side, and those they go out all the time. So what happened is that um apparently they were in a restaurant that one of the victim they were eating. So they didn't know if that they came in contact at any point, anything. We didn't know about this. I was just here sleeping one morning and I heard my door knocking and there was somebody at the door speaking Korean and I'm like, who is that? So when I pulled the door I realized that this guy had this big spray thing attached to him. So I said, okay, what is happening? So I'm saying probably just taking precautionary measures. So
Right.
went outside, they sprayed the entire building, entire everything they sprayed, inside out, outside, all over. So it was afterwards now we realized that there were two persons who were at the restaurant that person was having dinner. And
Dinan was in your dorm.
yeah,
That
they
person
were
was,
done.
so
And the funny part of
they
it,
sprayed their room. Did they come in
they
and spray the room, or they just
they
sprayed
they
the
they,
campus?
they all right. So they sprayed the hallways, this, and we had to leave the doors open. So they sprayed inside the room as well. The kitchen, bathrooms, everywhere was sprayed. And then they went out. They sprayed other buildings, the cafeteria, everything.
Okay.
Everything got sprayed.
So all right, so South Korea, were they giving you what they're calling these social distancing, washing your hands, all of those things that the
Oh yeah,
Jamaican
man.
government telling us to do?
Hold on, yeah, I'm speaking Korean now. All right, so yeah, man, we got all the washing of hands, and I must say the sponsors for the scholarship as well. We 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 have hand sanitizers. We have
Right.
all kind of masks. This one they say is washable. I haven't used it as yet. I have mask over there. And you know, the demand for mask skyrocketed. So what the Korean government did as well to prevent the pharmacies and these places from being bombarded with all these traffic from persons seeking masks, what they did, and due to a shortage at that time, what they did is that based on the year that you were born, so say for instance you born 1990 or 91, so if the last digit in the year of birth is 0 or 1, then you get to buy a mask on Monday, right?
Oh,
So 2, 3, Tuesday, 4, 5, all the way. So you never, and then you get to buy a mask one time a week. So that's kind of to
okay.
stagger everything. So that was one more thing that they did.
Okay.
So
So someone asked Kemar, what precautions did you take to make sure you didn't contract the virus?
all right, for me personally, whenever I leave my room, I don't touch my face any at all because
Right.
the mask is important.
Okay.
They're doing the nightly announcement. The mask is important. However, when you go outside, right, and you touch something and you touch the mask, that poses a risk as well because you're touching the mask, you may touch your face just the same. All of these things, you understand? So if I say I go outside, whatever I touch, sometimes we go to the supermarket or wherever. The mask is really uncomfortable. I won't lie. Sometimes it's hard to breathe. So at times you may remove it or anything, but the thing is, as soon as I get back, that mask is not coming inside with me. So I throw that
Oh,
mask away by the door. And then as you enter the building, you have the spray to spray your entire body and sanitizer. And then from I leave the front, then I go straight to the bathroom to wash again. Right? So those are some of the things that I did. The frequent washing, And sanitizer, you have sanitizer right here. Sanitizer I walk with, and then the mask, everything. So you have to take those measures.
Right. Because but some of the measures that the South Korean government took, I think they were really, really, really oh, some gone. You hearing me, Kemar?
Yeah, man, I'm hearing
Um, Someone telling me that the sound gone. Can anybody else, for anybody else, is the sound gone?
you. Hello, hello.
Is it
Can
back?
you hear me?
I'm
Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you, Kemar. Can someone? I'm hearing you. No, just not hearing him. Um. All right, it's good now. All right, so right, so you said you said that the sponsors gave you hand sanitizers, masks. However, you said the mask is a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, man, the
Um,
mask. There's even one mask that they gave me, man. That one is. Let me show it to you, man. This one.
oh, okay.
This
So
one
it's
is
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable, man. This one
But
is
you,
like
so what I want to
construction
take
site.
what I want to take away from some of the things that you said you did, you don't touch your face
Mm-mm.
because right. So, but it's hard. I mean, as Corona come around, that's the time your nose start to itch. Your eye, it's like you're so conscious now that your nose is itching and your eye. So, that's hard. But people, we still have to try. And then you said you dispose of your mask, so that mask didn't come inside with you once you left. And the washing of hands, the social distancing. I didn't hear you talk about that much.
Well, all right.
How did that work?
The social distancing. I mean, all right. So for one, since it arrived in our area, really, we haven't. All right. That story I told you about with the students across the hall. At that
Right,
point, when they took them away for testing and quarantine, we weren't allowed to go outside at that point because they weren't sure if they had come in contact with us at any point. So that would be like all of us in this building would be spreading it around campus. So what they did, they just told us to stay inside. So I think the test came back within 2 days. So after the 2 days, we were still told to stay inside because of this 14-day safe period, just to see.
right,
So even though their tests came back negative, they still kept them in isolation just the same. So
right,
after they did that, no, we had to really stay inside during that time. So we didn't go outside for a couple of days, and then when the second test came back negative, then it was okay. We could go back outside again. But at this point, no, we still have to exercise the social distancing and everything. So in terms of that, all the classes are online. They are still online. There's no
right,
there's no face-to-face classes going on. The semester was supposed to start on the 5th of April for everyone.
right.
That was pushed back as well. Um, so yeah, but to be honest, things are getting back to normal
You're
for the
getting
most
back to
part.
normal. So did you get
Restaurants are
tested?
open. Oh
Did you
no,
get
no, no,
tested? No. So
no,
anybody,
no
so
need.
the person, did you know that, are you close to the person who got tested? Do you know what the testing process is like?
As Jamaicans, when you say Asian people, everybody is Mr. Chin.
Uh-huh.
They keep describing these two guys to me, and all of them look the same, man. I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is, man. But they kept on telling me, no, you don't know that one. And I'm saying, man, I don't know who it is, man. But what scared me though as well is that the guy, he went to dinner with those people at the Friday night. The Saturday, he played football with the guy who stays right across from my room. So at that point, I'm saying, man, if that guy had corona, then I guess I have corona because we were all in the passage early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, I personally don't know who it is. They showed it. They showed the guy to me eventually, but I wasn't in contact with him at any point. And that
All right.
I remember there was one day when all of us in the program, man, we started freaking out, man. We were like, man, persons wanted to go back home, all of this thing, and then the persons from the sponsors office, the professors, the dean, all of them came, and we gathered, and I think even we have like monthly meetings, even with the sponsors. So even within that room, we had to be far apart. I remember we were
Okay.
doing even an exam, and we had to use 3 rooms instead of one.
Just to have
So
that social distance. All right.
yeah,
So I know as Jamaican, you're following up with what's happening in Jamaica, touching base with your family and everything. So our first case came out, and I'm still in the pharmacy world, and the news came out 12 o'clock, and by 12:15 the pharmacy was crowded. I mean, hand sanitizer, alcohol, hydrogen peroxide, vinegar, all of these things were selling like crazy. So with all of that coming in and the scare in the country, our government is trying to, you know, lead us the right way, put things in place, social distancing, wash our hands, stay at your yard. Them say the medicine at Jamaica, ton at your yard. But for some reason, some people here taking it as a joke. So someone asked, did the citizens comply in South Korea with whatever the
well,
government
I
asked the
mean,
citizens to do?
let me tell you something. You see, this race of people over here, they're the best in the world, man. If the
They
government says
complied.
stay home, they comply. You're going to still find persons out there, You're going to still find persons
Right.
out there because there is no complete shutdown. The taxis are still operating. I remember even when they went in the taxi and the guy was going in the front. Taxi driver said, and there. Go in the back. So he came in the back and right away he gave us hand sanitizer and everything. So persons are still there. But for the most part, persons do abide by this. And then based on the rate of multiplication that was happening, persons were
Right.
becoming scared. So everyone, I mean, let me tell you something. The culture here, when you go to like the city next to this one in Daegu, where that church was, the the halfway tree of that place
Right.
at any Friday night, at a matter of fact, any night, because these people, the bars, everything are booming. When you look in the streets, you see that look downtown on a Saturday.
Right.
That's how the
Right.
place is. That's how the place is. And I saw a picture of that place, and I could not believe it was the same place. I mean,
Empty.
these streets were empty. There was
So Jamaicans are
nobody.
just unruly.
No, Jamaicans are
Because
just Jamaicans, man. Jamaicans are just
Jamaican.
Jamaicans, but not until it hits home, and not until people start seeing people around them dying. That's when they're going to start to get serious. At that point, it might be too late. So, I mean, so far, I think the government is doing a wonderful job, and not to cause any panic or anything, but the sharing of information is really good. And yeah, I mean, don't hide the information, make it available, make it public so that persons can take the necessary precautions and everything. But persons do need to comply to to um to what the government is saying. So yeah, but the Koreans are at it. Let me tell you, man. My friend lost his phone like 3 times already, and
Mm-hmm.
he got it back. He lost his wallet with everything in it. He got it back, not even a dollar missing from it. These people, they comply to everything. They are good people.
All right.
Or,
So
or let me say in this town where I'm at, these people are good people because when you go up in the capital now in Seoul and those places where you have a lot of tourists, you find all the Western behaviors. But for the most part,
mm-hmm.
when you say hello to these people, they don't even look at you. They don't care.
All right. So you check with your family here. How are they doing? Are they scared for you? Are they still telling you to come home? Although you
I
can't come
mean,
home because the borders closed.
even right now, I'm looking at WhatsApp here and see, my daughter said, "Daddy, just 8 more months until you come home. But I wonder if Corona will be gone. I hope it will be gone. We have 47 cases and 3 died." So I mean, she's the one who
Oh,
is worried about me. Huh?
how old is your daughter now?
7.
And she's 7 year old and she's abreast of what is happening, and yet still
Of course, some
some
Jamaicans don't
Jamaicans
know.
they're taking this like, it's a joke. But as they say, until it hits home, that's when they're gonna take it
That's
serious.
when they're
Maybe
going
they're
to take it
really
seriously.
waiting on us to reach 1,000 deaths. But with all that is happening, I really happy that you shared with us, because I want Jamaicans to really take this serious. I want them to know that this is no joke virus. And if we see somebody, not doing the right thing right now, listen, this is a time that we have to snitch. We have to snitch. Did you see the video with the gentleman? Him and call out Andrew and this. I'm so
I
happy that
I I prefer the second one. I mean that guy, man. When that guy goes back to his community, he'll be a laughing stock, man. The way he was behaving in the first video to the second video, man, I think it was 2 different persons, man.
two
The
different
guy was
persons.
so calm. The guy was so calm. I'm like, look at him. Look like he was just baptized, man.
All right,
So
so for those who for those who miss the earlier part of the life, just tell them what are some of the precautions they took. What is the advice that you leave with Jamaicans to take this virus serious? And just give them a ray of hope, because what some persons think, though, for those who take it serious, they think it's a death sentence. You're in South Korea and you seem fine, because we remember we can't know if you
I'm
have corona.
fine. No, man, I'm
No,
good. I'm
no
good.
coughing, no sneezing. So just, what are the precautions you take? What are some of the South Korean um leadership what you think that they did an excellent job, and what you think what are some of those that we can adapt here? So we'll just close up with that.
I mean, the Korean government again. Just to recap, I mean, once a person is tested positive, then
Right,
their cell phone records, all the data from the cell phone is collected. They need to check the GPS locations where you were, see if you're lying, anything like that. Um, the your credit cards information, where you have been, what purchases you made. So they have to do all of this tracking, CCTV camera to confirm what you're saying. Um, Sharing of information. I mean, everyone was wondering what is happening in South Korea because they didn't hold back on any information. They just
right,
release it to the public. They just release all the information because at the same time it may cause some amount of panic, but at the same time persons are aware that, hey, listen, it is in halfway tree, so let's avoid halfway tree. So at that point, I mean, also what they did, if if a victim was in halfway tree, or there's a confirmed patient in halfway tree, then no matter the cell provider that you're on, every cell phone within halfway tree gets that alert to say,
right.
hey,
Yeah.
victim number whatever, he was in Clock Tower, then he went to Pavilion, he had lunch at Burger King. So all
Mm-hmm.
of those places will be closed right away to be cleaned, sterilized, all of these things. And as it relates to, oh, and also the government had to made some really, because once you're in isolation, you cannot leave the country. If you're in quarantine, you cannot leave your house. Um, you're supposed to stay inside. If you come out, if you go, there's a charge of up to 10 million Korean dollars or 1 year in jail. Um, as it relates to your personal hygiene, I say again, the mask is good, but the mask can be bad. because when you go out and you touch a surface, you touch the mask, you keep touching around, you might end up touching your face. So you have to be careful with that. Sneezing your elbow. So for me, sometimes, so I normally go outside with my gloves. I'll go out with my gloves sometime. And then if it is that I really have to scratch, then I will take the gloves off. I'll probably use the inside of my shirt or my rag or something. But this is prohibited. This doesn't work. So sometimes it will be itching. You have to find some other ways to itch it. So I mean, you have to be careful with touching on your face. Washing off your hands is really important. Hand sanitizer, please. You have to keep it. You have to keep it close. And again, persons should listen to what the government are saying. The healthcare professionals, all of these people. I mean, and also the mobile testing that they did, because when if you feel, if you are having a fever and you call this line, then you don't need to come out of your house, because you come into the hospital right away, you could infect a lot of other people. And also at the at the at the hospital gate, there's a guy with
Right.
the temperature gun right there. You cannot go inside that hospital. As you pull up to the gate, you have to be checked. Also, oh, what could I forget? These people at the bus stations. I remember there's
Right.
this bus station. When you come off the bus station, instead of letting everyone through this big door, everyone has to walk through this narrow door. And then there's a heat gun right there, and there's a guy behind the screen looking. So if you alight from that bus and your temperature is off, then everyone who
Right.
came off that bus automatically will be
And
will be tested.
that is why
So I
that
mean,
is why you have such low deaths in South Korea, man, and I have the thing
yeah,
locked.
man. I mean, they're very proactive. They took a proactive approach to it, even though they when I used to look at the thing, because there's this website that they put publish right away that showed you everything. The information was just there. The information was just there, and when I started to realize that they took down the website now, they did another
Mm-hmm.
one though, but I mean, it's not from, I think at one point we had like 900 plus cases per day,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's like 100 and something. But you find that no persons got scared when Korea was having the increase and they left. A lot of them went
Oh,
to the States. Now they're coming
okay.
back, and that is a problem. That's another part
Right.
of the
I
problem.
heard that on the news that nationals returning to these Asian countries is the
Yeah,
problem.
that's a problem. So
Um,
persons have to be careful of that as well. But I mean, there's no, Korea might be doing well. However, this is something that this requires a collective effort, because if Korea is corona free and persons coming to Korea, it won't be. So I mean, everyone has to play their role within this thing, and
right.
let us all fight this thing, because it's serious, man.
All right. So thank you,
But
Kemar, for
then again, one more. It's not a death sentence, people. It's not that you
right.
will you will get it and you will die, and that at the same time, that is not saying that you should go out carelessly to get it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I have families in the States who has it right now. I hope them,
Really?
yeah, I hope they recover soon. So
So are you on
they're
vitamins?
nurses.
They're
Yeah, I have
nurses.
some. Yeah, I have some vitamins, and yeah, I got some vitamins also before, as in when Corona was just fresh. I have
Mm-hmm.
a friend in Jamaica who was like, get some vitamins, get some vitamins. So I got some vitamins at that time also, and I try to keep fit just the same, do some workout and everything.
Right. So before Corona, were you on vitamins, or is when Corona comes, all right, mega boost up my
No,
immune system?
me Jamaican. I'm not on vitamins every day. Sometimes you remember you take it. Sometimes you wake up and say, "Oh, me feel tired," and you say, "Right, you take a vitamin." So it's not. It was an everyday thing. So no, I mean, it's more part of my day now. I
Okay.
have problem
All
with
right.
people that came in on JetBlue flight. Oh, those people,
Them
those JetBlue
selfish.
people. I mean, that
Yeah,
is
so
another problem. A lot of persons leave Korea healthy and get corona on the flight.
right.
So
All right,
that's another
Kemar, I
problem.
thank you for sharing. Anyone that is on the live have any questions for Kemar? We try and shoot them real quick, and then we head out. But
No one has question, man. We answered everything.
we answered everything. So but let me read this comment. Shayna say, all when them they're off a tree, like when you said the alert come out on the phone, them say
Mm.
all when them they're off a tree, there's always going to be a set of people I go same way and I say we can't go in cause we're hungry. No, but it's serious. That's what we are seeing. That boy, them duns doing now. I don't know what is wrong with them.
I mean,
They're like, them, we can't go in. We don't have the entertainment. We're hungry. The government need to do something for we. But I guess that's our mentality in Jamaica. You know,
but
government they always hungry and then government have to do something for them.
yeah, hey, let me tell you something, man. Let them stay out there and be hungry. They will die of hunger out there.
All right. So they said you answered everything. So we're gonna say to Kemar, Kemar, keep safe as us here in Jamaica have to keep safe as well. Guys, remember the social distancing, the washing of your hands, the hand sanitizer, the mask if you can wear it. Because Kemar said uncomfortable. But
Oh
remember,
man, them
dispose of it. Listen to our government. People who are on this live, I don't think them need all of that information. And the people them were out there with them hungry and them want the government to do something for them, but it's obvious we're not gonna flatten the curve because we're not
not
listening.
listening. Yeah, I mean that curve in Jamaica. Hey, listen, there are 50 plus million people in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica is 2 point something million, right? And
Right.
Jamaica, you know, we there. They will love this social thing and yo, wagwan and all of these
Yeah.
things. Over Korea, all of these people they see you, that's it. You understand? That's all you get. So right there, if in Jamaica, you know where I yell my friend me have to go to Obama where I steal three
Yes,
time
I'm
and I say
seeing
yo
somebody.
and yeah and right there's a Corona gonna tree family. When you're in Korea, you just
Mm-hmm.
come and they say and you say yo, that's
All
it.
right.
No
Yes.
touching. So when they come
Touching.
with this social distancing and a touch leg, Koreans don't have to do that because they already they weren't doing that in the first place. Let me tell you, one thing surprised me last year when I just got here, when the semester was just reopening. I mean, this is separate and apart from that still, but I mean, it's the end of summer, persons coming back to school, and
Mm-hmm.
I realized this girl is like, she looked across and she saw her friend. And she was like, Lottie! And they both run to each other. I was expecting a big hug and both of them just run to each other. And I'm like, what? I really wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that part at all. I mean, in Jamaica, that would be a big hug. And you
Yes.
know what I mean? Not at all. That's it.
Oh,
Hold on to
that's
that.
just
I mean, they
hold on
do
to
hug,
that.
but they have to be like really, really, really close friends.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, also I must say we have a Jamaicans in Korea group as well. So we keep in touch
Okay.
here. We keep in
That's
touch here
good.
as well. So we get in touch with persons up in the capital, which they're closer to some of the things happening up in that side. I think
Mm-hmm.
two other girls in the group they did some interview with the Gleaner the other day as well. I think
Right.
that's another story. If you
That's
if you
another.
if you read if you read that article, you will get a different thing from what I'm saying. But I can talk
Right.
to you about that. I can talk to you about that off the live.
Off the live.
Yes, but I'm good. I'm still doing my thing. I'll be home in 8 months. But can't wait.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. And right now, with everything shut down, I mean, There's some stuff I'd love from Jamaica, but I can't have it. I mean, Easter is coming up. Me can't get no bun. Although bun no good for man. But
Listen to me. I see
that's still,
somebody post the other day say Easter no bun in the house. So and then you alone
yeah.
with
So I
I
mean,
mean I think we spend our money on panic shopping and everything. We not no bun and cheese.
oh, and I mean, nothing is short in Korea, man. Everything is here just the same. Persons do buy, but
Mm-hmm.
things still here. So I mean, these people, they're different, man. It's different. It's an experience. And as I said before, I came here to further my education. I didn't plan for this corona thing. So
Nobody planned for this
maybe
corona
one
thing.
day I'll decide to write a book, and then I can put this part in it as well. This is one chapter in the book, this corona thing. So
Yes. So
I'm
now we live in
still
a
making the
decade of
story.
a pandemic. We can tell our when we live through, we tell our grandchildren, my son is alive. Him, I don't even think him so into it. Him just like, Mom, how long have I been home? So I'm like, you've been so he
Um,
can tell his children and the grandchildren. So we live in a decade where there's a pandemic. But Kemar, stay safe. Thank you for sharing with us. Some of the things that, as I said, what Korea did, it seemed to really work. And I hope Jamaicans here can just, work together because, as I said, if we don't work together when one city or country is free of the corona, then we reinfect the society that
yeah.
we are traveling into. So um, it was the year 2020. Yes, it was the year 2020. I mean, I tell a friend of mine that she posted when it was December 31st that 2020 was going to be epic. So I said to her, she said, maybe next year will be epic. I said, girl, we just want a normal 2021. We will live through this. So,
If
it's been a year. It's been a year of a lot of things. But stay safe, Kemar, and thank you for sharing. And we'll keep in touch. Korea the boss. Yeah, man. That is why I wanted to hear what were some of the things that were happening in
oh,
Korea.
and also, I don't know how many of you may have heard of it. The there was a donation, a combined effort from JPS and the Korean partners. As I said, JPS is owned by Korean, Jamaican, Japanese. So
Right.
there was a donation from JPS in association with EWP, who is a partner here. So they made a contribution to the fight against Corona the other day. So that is good as well. Mask, machines, all kind of stuff. So that's another good effort. So I mean, if
Right.
other companies pitch in and help the fight, then yeah,
We can live through 2020. Yeah. So we just hope
yeah.
while this clear up the vaccine come at a good time so we can go back to normalcy. Even though they said the world won't be the same after this, um, people will change. I don't know. I think some Jamaicans still are gonna be nasty and not washing
Jamaicans,
hands, right? And
I
them are go
when when
hungry same way.
when me know the thing serious, when me hear the police officer say, and those who don't like to bid, you should start now. It's like they have a culture of not showering, so I don't understand. So if you have to mention that, it therefore means that these people are not showering. But I understand though. A couple of people need to be able to. But yeah, I mean, it's
It's good.
people
So
should
what
listen
time
to.
is
People should just listen. Right now
yeah?
it is 11:34 p.m. Saturday night.
In Korea. So we thank you so much for your time. Is it bedtime? Shana
Bedtime,
said
no, actually.
the bleachers them now go bed. All right, so
Hey,
we're gonna let you go now because we are 14 hours apart. AM for us, night for you. Thank you, Kemar. Stay safe, keep in touch, and I hope your family here in Jamaica is keeping safe as well. And everybody on the live, when you just do anything, make we work together and beat this corona. So Take care. I tried to save the live and upload it for those who, because a lot of people joined last night. We couldn't.
Oh,
They're
and
probably asleep
apologies to
now.
those people. Apologies to those people who didn't get to
Yeah,
hear the story last
enough
night
dance they are going for live
because
last night.
too much party online.
Right, so I
So
have to go save it and try to upload it so they can watch it. So take care, Kamara. We keep in touch. Stay safe, everybody. Washing and hand sanitize if you can. Washing the hands. Remember to social distancing, please, people. Just quarantine yourself if you feel sick. If you have flu, stay home and make we beat this thing. We can beat it.
Santana your yard.
And turn your yard. All right, take care.
Santana your
See
yard.
you. See you
Oh,
soon.
oh,
Bye,
and
guys.
one more thing before I go. I have a friend in Jamaica who told me last night that her friend, she's pregnant, and she started realizing signs, but she was afraid to go out. However, what she
Mm.
did still, she called the COVID line, and those person came and they took her to the hospital just the same. So I mean, that was good also. So it means that it's not only the COVID line is not only for COVID, but it's for those kind of emergency, because at that point it would have been lockdown, right? It would
Right.
have been lockdown. So I mean, that's a good way to go out. So I mean, it was good though. I
Yeah,
like that about it.
yes, because it would have been curfew and you wouldn't want to
Yeah.
go out. So she called the COVID line and they came for
Yeah, she
her.
called the COVID line and they picked her up and took her to the hospital. So
Wow, we are
that
going
was
with
good.
things in Jamaica, man.
Yeah, man, things
Oh,
happen, man. This is just that the bad outshine the good, you know. So
me tell you, say things that happen to the people,
things
the
happen.
people
There's the
them
people,
came
them,
on,
but
them hungry.
mm, we have to walk through the gully. We have to walk through the gully, go look for food. And my shop now open. That,
And them now entertain them inside
yeah.
and you know
Stay
them
home
things
so your
that
shop can open next year. Stay home so the shop can open next year.
I
I
hear that
mean,
stay home so the shop can
yeah,
open next year.
me have a little business just the same, man. Well, man, me can't do nothing. Me not tell
Can
people and say, hey, go and go risk it. I say, no, man, just stay home. Make
yeah.
it blow over and pass. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it, man. So, it was a pleasure being here, Lati.
Yeah, man. Thank you, guys. Again, if you this was from my leg, from my brand, Plan-tastik Inspire, trying to uplift and encourage persons to just be safe in this COVID time. So, as I said, I will save the live, put it up for those who missed it, for those who joined last night and could not be on the live. Take care, Kemar. Be safe, everyone.
Peace out. Jamaica to the world, man.
All right.